I've watched the first 5 episodes of the show, and it's really cool to see a cast like this in the same show. So I wanted to know how was it to collaborate with each other and with other icons of the genre like Maya, Alan, and Matt.
It was terrific. I would say I'm so happy to be part of such an interesting and eclectic group of people, and people from all backgrounds and races and religions and all sorts of things. I feel like it's such a good time in television where things are opening up and it doesn't just feel like a bunch of the same type of people with the same, that all talk the same and have the same jokes. It really felt like fun to be a part of something where each character was very individualized and had their own voice and point of view. I think that has been very exciting, and I think Alan and Matt did a great job in sort of writing a script to sort of promote that kind of sharp, fun comedy.
Yeah, each of the characters has a really different personality, and they come from different backgrounds. They are from different spectrums of society, and at the beginning of the show, they don't seem to really get along between them. So what ends up bringing them together?
I think it's like they all end up finding sort of common ground. Like I think for all of the characters in the show right now, like when we meet them, they're all sort of going through this transformative moment in their lives. Things are changing for them, whether it's divorce, whether it's a new job, whether it's loss of wealth, all of these things are happening to them at the same time. And I think finding people who are experiencing the sort of same shaky ground that you are is a really powerful connector for a lot of these characters. And so even though they don't have a lot of things in common or at the start, I think when they're thrown together, they really latch on to each other and lean on each other for support. And that's where they find sort of the connection and the common ground.
Yeah, and even though the show doesn't confine itself to just one location. I mean, the show is really free. Every episode takes place in a different place, basically. But it's a workplace comedy, which is a really prolific format. So what's the most distinctive thing for you about Lude's workplace, or the thing that you enjoyed the most about this environment that you created?
Oh, for me, I just really love, even though there's so many different spaces in different areas, I think the fact that it shows how Los Angeles based this show is. It shows you all aspects of Los Angeles, because here in the city, you have all those things. You have the riches of the rich, but you also have people who need the most assistance. And for us to be able to showcase this whole world within one city, I think is a great bonus that we had in the show that I didn't really think about when we were shooting it. I didn't really think about where it was set, but once we started shooting and using these actual real locations and seeing these beautiful murals downtown and all these artsy places and beautiful restaurants, the city itself becomes a character within the show. And I think that's something that is really unique and beautiful to Lude.
Yep, and all your characters are somehow connected to Molly, Maya's character. And it could be hard to relate to someone who has $87 billion and who lives a life different from anyone, basically, who will watch the show. But how do you think that your characters help to relate to the show, to the themes that the show wants to explain, to tackle?
Well, I think for my character, Howard, I'm pretty much a open heart, and I'm kind of a conduit back from the world of materialism to Molly's family. So for my character, it's pretty straightforward that I'm kind of like the good side of the family, that side of the family that doesn't forget you no matter how far you've moved away, no matter how long it's been since you've called your mom or called your aunt. But when you pick up that phone, they still have that joy in their heart and they're happy to hear your voice. And I think that was my job and my opportunity to kind of build that through Howard.
Yeah, I think for me, for Nicholas, it's really about this quest for towards materialism that he's able to find and redirect towards a passion that he lost, that Howard helps him rediscover, which is, you know, performance and acting and art. And I think like he's been so distracted since he started working for Molly because of the wealth and the glamour of all of that lifestyle, and he forgets himself a little bit. And I think that's really true for a lot of people, especially in this country. Materialism and upward mobility is sort of the focus for a lot of people, that they forget and lose themselves in that quest. And I think that sort of journey that we see Nicholas take is really relatable for a lot of people.
Yeah, I would say for Arthur, you know, he and Molly are sort of on parallel paths. You know, when we find them on the show, they're both going through divorces, and so I think there's a lot of common ground and connection there. I think they're both sort of giving each other something. I think Arthur is giving Molly a little bit of a chance at perspective, and that, you know, love can be beautiful in its simplicity, and it doesn't necessarily have to be so loud and grand, and it can be sitting alone and, you know, watching a movie together on the couch. You know, it doesn't have to be a high-end restaurant in Miami, you know, for example. And I think, you know, Molly is probably offering Arthur the chance at having some confidence in getting back out there and sort of being true to who he is, and giving him a little push back into that world to kind of find what he's looking for, you know.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a really nice day, and congrats for the show, for your work.
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thanks so much.
Have a great
See ya.
day.